Wallets. Wallets are such a bad invention for something that we need to keep so much stuff safe, right? We just put stuff in our wallet, some of our most valuable stuff, and it has almost no security around it. Anybody can open it up. Stuff can fall out of it. I can leave it behind somewhere. Despite that, we keep using them. Thankfully, digital wallets aren't anything like that. Digital wallets are a lot better, sort of. This week, after there was a security breach, I decided this was probably a good time for me to set one up myself. And I learned a couple interesting things. First off, the security is way better. Digital wallets use two-factor authentication. My physical wallet uses no-factor authentication. Anybody can take it. However, they're kind of slow. What I mean by that is the actual transfer speed to get something from the exchange app to the wallet app wasn't particularly fast, to the point where I actually thought I'd done something wrong and I just lost everything that I tried to do. And like paper money, digital bitcoins and all that fun stuff can't really be recovered once you lose it. If you lose it, that's it. You can't claim it's yours anymore. Fees. Now, my paper wallet doesn't have any fee associated to it. I have to buy the thing, right? But that's not a fee. Once I do that, it's mine. Digital wallets tend to have a lot of fees associated with them. Every time you have to move a cryptocurrency, you're paying something to move it. And what I mean by that is you need to use a blockchain. So depending on the blockchain you use and potentially the time of day and there's a handful of other factors that get into it, it's going to affect the price. And what they do is they just charge you that price as a part of the transaction. I was naive and stupid, and I ended up spending a lot of money to transfer a very small amount of money into my wallet. Now, in reality, I should have done it at a different time of day and picked a better network to do it on. For instance, a blockchain like Solana, which can handle somewhere around 60,000 transactions a second, kind of dictates a lower price than a blockchain like Ethereum that can only handle maybe 15 transactions a second. So I started to think, there's got to be an opportunity in this. How do you get in on being one of those people that's making the money on that transaction? Because this is decentralized finance, right? Everybody has the opportunity to be a part of the community. And there is. It's easy. It's called staking. And you do it right from your wallet. And that I thought was the coolest thing. You can take currency that you're involved in and you can stake those tokens. And what it does is it allocates them to the blockchain and it allows it to validate future transactions by other users. And you make a percentage back on it. And it's a better percentage than what you would say make if you just left your money in a bank. Because my physical wallet also doesn't do that. When I put money in my wallet, it stays there, sort of, unless I spend it. But the value doesn't really change. If anything, it actually goes down. What I could do to combat that is potentially put it in an interest account, right? I could put it in a savings account, try to get interest on that money. But that's not really effective, right? And to me, interest is just kind of a thank you note from a bank. Because what they do is they take your money, they invest it somewhere, they make a ton of money, and then they give you a really small piece back. And I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's really what I want to do. Banks they're in it to make money. That's what their goal is. That's not a secret. So naturally, when I heard the Federal Reserve was interested in developing a digital currency for the US, I kind of perked my ears up because how is this going to make them money? And I was like, well, that's awesome. They let everybody else figure it out. And now that the game's going really well, they're going to come in here and they're going to see what they can do with it. They're going to take over it. And I was kind of mistaken because what they're trying to do, they're going to try to develop this thing called a Cbdc, a central bank digital coin. And what it is, it's going to be a stable coin in the international economy. And it's going to be pegged to the value of $1. So unlike cryptos, which are typically super volatile and they bounce all over the place and nobody can figure out what they're actually worth, and the transactions take a while. So when you transfer the money, when you transfer the crypto, it might be worth something completely different by the time it gets to your account. Something like a Cbdc would actually maintain its value pretty close to what it should be. So Cbdc is a digital currency and it's not a cryptocurrency. There's a significant difference because it's a non-physical form of a currency managed by a central bank. And that's completely opposite what a cryptocurrency wants to do. There's no central bank in a cryptocurrency. So I thought, this must be like a debit card. and I was completely wrong again. A debit card is a digital transaction representing a physical currency, right? The bank backs the money in my account and then transfers it to the other party. It's not a digital currency, and it's definitely not a cryptocurrency. So let's break down what these different definitions are. We've got paper money, or fiat, right? And it's backed by, in our case in the United States, it's backed by the Federal Reserve. And theoretically, that paper dollar represents a portion of a commodity that we use to fuel the economy, hopefully. Debit cards are a digital transaction that transfers a currency, but the bank didn't make the currency, and that's the important distinction there. The currency is still managed by a central bank, not the bank necessarily using the transaction. So Bank of America doesn't transfer their own currency when I use their debit card. They're still transferring the Federal Reserve backed currency. Crypto, on the other hand, is a decentralized asset that's backed by users and stored and managed on a blockchain. And that's sort of what makes it unique. And a blockchain is just, in the most simplest terms, a digital public ledger that records transactions. That's what makes it so useful for currency, because once it's on there, it can't be changed. It's really secure in that sense. So what would the Federal Reserve, Cbdc, be aiming to do? It's aiming to stabilize the international digital economy. It's a centralized response to a decentralized market. So naturally, people were skeptical, right? But the US isn't the first country to do this. China and Sweden have talked about it. The Bahamas actually rolled out something called the sand dollar, and they've used it for a couple of years, and it's worked for them. Cryptocurrency and digital currency are like apples and oranges. They're not the same thing, right? They're both fruits, but you're going to use them for different tasks. What they want to achieve is different. Digital currency brings technology into standard money in the world, and it brings it to the masses. It's the next evolution of that paper dollar in our wallet. Crypto, on the other hand, is a new commodity. It's an asset. It's using technology to invent something. So what does this mean for crypto? I think it's fantastic. Why? Think of gold. Gold has been used for centuries to derive values and drive prices. Inflation is at probably an all-time high right now. We need something to back the dollar. We need an asset and a commodity to back the dollar. And if we want to develop a digital currency, we're going to need something to back that. And that's where crypto is going to come in. Crypto is going to be what backs the future of money. It's going to be the digital gold. Bitcoin, Ethereum, any of the other crypto commodities that survive the long haul, those are going to be the ones that benefit the most. And everyone's got the opportunity to be a part of it now. Everyone has the opportunity to get into that market and stake out their portion of that raw material. Because as it gets used more, guess what? The value is going to go up. As the value goes up, you're going to benefit and profit from it. Now I get it. There's a lot of people who are uneasy, right? The idea of adopting a digital currency or fake money or this invisible 10, but simply put, technology is the future of money. The government's admitted that. Finance is going to be technology. And it's only a matter of time before it's adopted widespread. Phones. People never thought a phone would be used for anything more than just making a call. But technology saw a phone, it saw an opportunity, saw a way to make it better, saw a way to take something and provide more value with it. And technology can offer the same thing with currency. It can make crypto a commodity in the market. My prediction is this is just the beginning. I think things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, the prices are going to skyrocket, and it's going to come to the point where people who have that raw material are going to be glad they do. The barrier of entry is going to change. Cryptocurrency isn't an arbitrary, invisible trend anymore. We've adopted it to some extent. The global economy is dependent on it. Now, how long it takes for that to be widespread adoption, that could change. But regardless, it's the digital gold of the future, and we're in a gold rush right now. So take advantage of it. The odds are pretty good. Don't settle for mediocrity. Go get what you want. One take. Let's do it. So I thought, well, we got a special guest. Oh, we got another guest. Oh, still going. Mr. Lucky.